TGIF, it's Friday. Welcome to Friday, October 11th, 2024. Well, the sky put on a show last night, depending on where you were. If you had clouds, you were kind of bummed, although some of you were able to see the Aurora borealis through the clouds or a break in the clouds. But as you can see from Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta all the way down to Albuquerque, New Mexico yesterday evening, as the activity with the Aurora borealis certainly rivaled what we saw in May in many areas across the globe. We have clouds now, much to the chagrin of a lot of people who wanted to see the Aurora last night. After all of those days and nights of clear skies, now we get the clouds. We don't see any significant moisture chances out of those clouds, however, through the weekend and into early next week, so we're going to continue to be quiet through next Wednesday. Then the changes commence for you folks in the Pacific Northwest, along the West Coast, and along and west of the Divide. You start to see the bigger changes arriving on Thursday. Then by Thursday night into Friday, kind of a shock to the system as the pattern will do a 180 and much colder, unsettled weather will be moving in, with all areas, both sides of the Divide, turning much colder. Rain and snow chances over all areas by late Thursday and into Friday. So we've got more to talk about now, but first of all, let's take a look at the light show that we had last night. When you have the geomagnetic storm of a 4 or 5, that's when you can get auroras very far south in latitude. Here's a shot from Prescott, Arizona, Carpenter, Wyoming, with even a shot of Andromeda galaxy right here. And Lake McConaughey, Nebraska put on quite a show last night, even up into Midwest Wyoming between the clouds, the smoke, able to get a good view. And down across southern Wyoming, a good show with a mix of clouds and the auroras. You can see from the shots from Jan Curtis here, the next 3 shots from Jan showing the Aurora putting on a lot of red last evening and last night as it came across the area. So are we going to continue to see auroras? Possibly. The geomagnetic storm is expected to go from a G4 to a G1, but you can see as of very early this morning, we still had a K index that was above 7. And so we'll see if that rides out. It probably reached its peak, but you never know. We'll be fighting clouds again in many areas. Now, I want to talk now about Comet A3. It's going to start now in the evening. We talked about this comet being visible early in the mornings as we got to late September and early October. Now it's going to make an evening showing. Those numbers you see are dates. So the bottom here, October 12th, tomorrow, it starts to make an appearance very low on the horizon. This is for 45 minutes after sunset. This comes from Sky and Telescope's website. And you can see the comet climbs higher and higher each evening. And right now, it's brightening up, and it is likely going to be an easy target, especially with binoculars. Probably unaided, going to be able to see it with the eye. If folks remember Comet Neowise in 2020, this could be at that level. Certainly, as it's gone around the sun, it's brightened up considerably. So beginning this weekend, and especially into early next week, it's going to put on an evening show. This is one of those comets where you don't have to get up in the middle of the night, so that'll be nice. We don't have as nice of a satellite image for you this morning. This is due to the fact that the GOES 18 site is not reporting this morning. But you can see Hurricane Milton all the way out in the Atlantic now, and then you can see all the mid and high level clouds that ruined your Aurora viewing last night. This is associated with a trough of low pressure out here. It's a weak one that's coming inland. So it's going to produce some mid and high level clouds, and it'll make it a little cooler, but it's not going to produce much precipitation. Here it is right here, headed eastbound. So the precipitation between now and Sunday looks like this. Really nothing to write home about. Temperatures between today and Tuesday will continue to be well above average. Not as warm as it's been, but through Tuesday and Wednesday next week, it's still going to be warmer than normal. We're going to have some wind today. This is today. Unfortunately, the winds are going to be a bit gusty in the fire areas. The Elk Fire and the Pack Trail Fire are going to be fanned a bit by some gusty winds because of this approaching upper level low, changing things up a little bit. And you can see there's going to be some breezy areas between now and Sunday. Nothing too crazy with the wind, but they are going to pick up a little bit at times, especially right where we don't need them up there. Over the next 4 to 5 days, it's still high pressure. There's the same upper level low that's off the west coast now. It's just going to meander, just produces a few light showers in the southwestern United States. But as we've been showing you over the last couple of days, a cold surge comes into the Great Lakes and the east. We're going to see freezing temperatures all the way down into far southeastern areas of the U.S. with this cold surge, while we stay protected and warm through Wednesday of next week. But there's the game changer. The pattern change that we've been talking about is coming in from this system, but it's not making its move till Wednesday and Thursday. So between now and next Wednesday, here are the temperature anomalies. You can see the cold surging into the east and the Midwest, still warmer than average through midweek in the west. Then we start to see that front come in. How the front comes in, how far south it pushes, and how much moisture it brings, we've got to figure out. I am purposely not going to show you the precipitation forecast with this front yet, because it could really vary. We've got to get a little bit closer. But we have really good agreement in the models. This is the European model. This is the artificial intelligence version. Notice the AI version is similar, but it's further south. And the Canadian model is hinting at a further south push GFS model somewhere in between. But they're all in agreement of a strong cold front coming in and bringing in much colder temperatures. What we're very confident about is the change to much colder temperatures. What we're less confident about, and this is usually the case when you're a week away, is how much precipitation it will bring. It will bring some precipitation, especially a chance of snow to the mountains. But amounts in the mountains and mounts on the plains, we've got to get closer. So I'm not going to show you that yet, but we're certainly going to see that change with this front. It really barrels in late Thursday into Friday and spills colder air across the divide by the weekend. To give you an example, this is what's going to happen by noon Thursday. So we talked about west of the divide Thursday getting colder, still very warm east of the divide. Look at that contrast. So there's going to be a big contrast by late Wednesday night into Thursday, and especially late Thursday evening into Thursday night. West of the divide getting colder, east of the divide still very warm. But look what happens 24 hours later. The cold rushes in and overspreads the area, and temperatures plummet and drop very sharply. This is your opportunity to blow out your sprinklers. If you have not blown out your lawn sprinklers, you've got between today and really next Thursday. After that, all bets are off. Say I didn't warn you. Because if your sprinkler systems are not put to bed yet, you better. Because we'll see hard freezing temperatures behind this front as it comes on in. So we'll have more on the front Monday. Hopefully a better idea of what the precipitation may look like. In the meantime, have yourself a good weekend.